I started my career back studying at JJ College of Architecture. Back in '94, we graduated. Me and my wife, Kiran Ganti, is also a partner in the company. We both studied at JJ, and then about '94, I went to USC to do my master's in University of Southern California. And we had the good opportunity to work with the world famous architect Richard Meyer. I worked there for 13 years as a senior designer. And finally, about in 2007, we said, okay, we need to start our own firm, having the entrepreneurial bug in me. So we had a couple of projects already lined up in India with the Bunchiel Group at that point of time. So we started GA as a company back in the United States. So we have about 3 offices right now. One is the office in LA, one the Bombay office, which is the major office right now, and one site office in Pune. So we grew from a one-person office to about 30 architects right now and lighting designers combined from 2007 to now. So it's in a 10-year period, we established GA very well in the industry. I think I come from the technology background as well. I love technology. I embrace technology, and I used to train people in AutoCAD while back in the 90s. I trained a lot of offices in the US, and it was a natural progression from hand drafting to CAD, and then from CAD went to BIM. And now BIM will go to virtual reality very soon, and so that's a natural progression. And with doing so, it makes a financial sense also, because during the hand drafting days, you needed a lot of staff to do that. Then when AutoCAD replaced hand drafting, we were able to cut the staff by half. And then when BIM came in, we were able to cut it down to half again. So if you see, there has been a natural progression, and it's a good ROI for the company also to make an investment in BIM. So all these projects that we do right now internationally, we cannot imagine doing it without BIM anymore. So ours is a 100% Revit-based, BIM-based office right now. Before BIM came on before Revit came into the BIM world, I would say, we had AutoCAD. We were using AutoCAD extensively, and when Dave Lamont, the CEO of Revit, before it was bought out by Autodesk, he's a friend of mine, so he showed me this platform, and I was very intrigued by it. And when I came to know he sold the company to Autodesk, it was a sale for me right there, and I decided to stick with Revit since then. Although there are other companies, but since Autodesk is a very robust company, they've been along for a long time, I knew they would invest heavily in this new platform, so that's why we decided to stick with Revit. Every architect has to be innovative in one way or the other, and we have to learn to embrace technology, otherwise you'll be a part of the road or the road roller. You have to decide which way you want to go. So we implemented Revit, and we are very good. It's been about 10 years now. We are very proficient in Revit in the office. From the drafting world of AutoCAD, when we progressed to BIM, we realized immediately that a lot of time that was wasted in coordination of the drawing, because things had to be moved in plan or a section or elevation, it would not get automatically coordinated. When BIM came along, that was almost automatic. I mean, it's a database driven software, so when you move a window in one place, it reflects in all the places else, and the coordination was much easier, and we were able to really cut down the staff and really save a lot. So by investing in BIM and technology in the computing power, we were able to cut down the staff by half. So I think that's the challenge that we faced, but we are seeing the fruits of that right now. GA is an international company. We have projects back in Los Angeles and Africa. We did doing a hotel. We just finished that hotel, and in India we have a lot of projects. Now, being an international company, we got to think global. We got to invest in technology that helps you do that stuff. So we've implemented Revit servers in the office, and with that we were able to collaborate with other consultants working in different countries on the same platform, on the same time zone. So that really helps, because as opposed to the email world where you're doing a drawing and then sending it across and you overlay, there are a lot of problems with that. We came across, okay, why don't we all get onto the same platform in the cloud computing, and we installed a Revit server. That's really helping us globally do our projects. When I started using BIM around about 2003, 2004, but you can see within the next 10 years, when Autodesk invested heavily in taking it to the next level, I can only see that will be the platform which every architect would have to use, whether it is through some other software, but BIM being the main same platform of delivery. Even clients and customers are demanding that right now, because as a model which they can save for themselves for facility management, for example, when you finish a hotel, we could almost translate that entire project to them as built, and they could use that for facility management. You couldn't do that back with the CAD world. So going further in the future, in 5 years, I see a paperless technology completely.
I have to confess that it first was out of no choice, because we were pushed by our chief, Shekhar Ganti, here in this office to embrace BIM and Revit. And we just had to kind of make ourselves comfortable doing that, and then we realized that it was becoming a very interesting journey, you know, with all these wonderful tools that it had. It made our lives very easy. Yeah, so it was more like exploring its database capabilities. Then we had so many things to look forward to in terms of daylighting parameters and so on. Of course, I don't use it on a day-to-day basis. It's more my production team using it. But just seeing them put, fixture-related information inside this software, and then all these the information coming together, like the photometric data, the sizes, and of the fixture, they come together, and then we can run these lovely energy analysis. It gives us wonderful visuals that we can take to our clients, and my observation was it started becoming a more responsible design for us, where we did not have to use too many fixtures. That's what ends up happening these days. You see a ton of light used in internal spaces and so on, and that's not sustainable, that's not responsible, and we started doing it a little more carefully then. And so I would say it's a very powerful tool, giving us a lot of ideas and options to kind of take our design in the right direction. So we tried implementing Revit on two of our projects. One is a hospitality project a Sheraton project that we're doing in Africa, and a couple of residences that we're doing. But two projects come to my mind where we've really kind of taken that extra step to embrace BIM, and we started documenting it in terms of putting the photometric data in and so on, and it has done a wonderful job of putting our specifications together. We were able to run some cost analysis, and we were able to fit it within the right budget that the client had assigned towards lighting.
Obviously, prior to that, we used to work on AutoCAD, and AutoCAD, being a brilliant software, it has its own limitations. So being under Shekhar's shadow, obviously we wanted to start with Revit and incorporate and do the entire project of Bhansali residence in Revit. So when I started in Revit, it was a very powerful software, because simply for the fact that you're drawing it in 2D, but you can visualize it in 3D. That not only helps us, also helps the client to visualize the spaces. For example, you can do renders of that, you can do a walkthrough in order to make him understand. We also used to export the Revit files into 3D Max and have them rendered so that they could get an exact picture of how the residence is going to look like. So it was very essential for us, since we could sell the project to the client, as well as when we moved across, when the design got finalized, it was very good in order to kind of have our collaboration with the structural, with the MEP team, because the structural and the MEP team actually took our architectural model and kind of linked it and have their own Revit model in order to have their clash detection, in order to foresee any kind of problems that might happen in the future. Also for the client, it was very easy for him to have a budget estimation, because any kind of quantities or materials required, we could easily get it from Revit and give him the exact quantity, which helped him and us to understand what the cost estimation of the project would be like. So Revit was a very powerful tool. It also helped us, for example, to export it into Ecotech, which helps us, for example, having the environmental impact, what it's going to be like. Considering this residence had a lot of glass, curtain wall facade. So there was a lot of sunlight coming in. So me and Shekhar actually sat down, we decided where we should be putting in louvers, such that there isn't direct sunlight coming into the house. So Revit helped us in exporting it to many other softwares of Autodesk and having like a cohesive approach through all aspects, whether it was structural, MEP, environment, everything. So we could kind of study the entire project together, and even the client was very happy because we could give him the exact quantities that might him to do the cost estimation basically.